Well, hi there. This week we are back with a Sleep SOS episode. Last week I posted in my Instagram stories asking you to submit Sleep SOS questions. Jessica submitted a great question about her son suddenly dropping his nap. If you are interested in submitting a question for a future SOS episode, please be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is at Sleep and Wellness Coach. Hi, I'm Allison Edgety, a pediatric sleep and wellness coach and a mom of two. I love to help parents find solutions. This is How Long Till Bedtime. I asked Jessica to record and submit her question. So I'll start by playing that.
Hi, Allison. So I have a 4.5-year-old, and he sleeps between 7 and 7 every night. And we adjust his bedtime if he's, not napping to earlier, or if he is napping to 7:30. But he always wakes up at 7 a.m. and we do not have to wake him. He operates by the hatch light, so he usually does really well with that. However, this past week, we are really worried that we are losing the nap, and he has not napped. He started a new preschool, so it could be that. At preschool, Monday through Thursday, he did not nap. And then on Friday, I picked him up early from preschool in hopes that I could get him home to take a nap. His normal nap time is 12:30 to 2:30, but oftentimes he'll sleep till 3 or 3:30. And he ended up not napping when I picked him up to take him to nap. And he also refused to nap on Saturday and Sunday. So what he does when we put him down, we have a pretty good routine. He'll lay there for at least 30 minutes quietly. And then by about 45 minutes, he's getting bored. So he'll call and ask for his light to turn green, or he'll ask to have quiet time. And then we give it to we're pretty steady on keeping it at an hour. So we give him about an hour. And if he doesn't fall asleep, we've been allowing him to read books in his room quietly or play. And then we have him stay in quiet time at least 30 more minutes. So a total of an hour and a half of quiet time. So he has not napped. Now it is Monday, so 8 days in a row. And he is still waking up at 7 a.m. bright and early. We've been putting him to bed at 6:30 to get him asleep by 7, just because he does get really fussy in the afternoon still. So hopefully you can help us. Thanks.
Jessica, I'm so glad you submitted this question because he's at a very interesting age when it comes to nap. There is a wide range in the age a child no longer needs or will benefit from a nap. I fall into the camp of believing that most children are going to benefit from a daily nap until around the age of 3.5. But once they get over 3, particularly 3.5 to 5 year, that window, there is a wide range of what I classify as typical in the nap department or in having naps keep our children well rested. Some children will drop that nap entirely by the time they're 3.5 years old, and they will be well rested. Some children will nap all the way until they head to kindergarten and may even struggle a bit when you then have to force the drop nap for them to go to school. As I discussed in episode 64, it's ideal if the transition away from napping is a gradual one, where your child goes from napping daily to napping most but not all days, and then to napping about half the time, and finally to napping some but not most days, and then they no longer nap. Ideally, it's not a flip of the switch where suddenly they don't nap. So, the reason I was so drawn to your question, Jessica, is because I think it brings up a point that I didn't go into in that previous episode. And that is that the closer your child gets to the age of 5, the higher the chance that they may suddenly drop their nap, like the flip of a switch, and they won't go through that ideal gradual drop process. I think your son's sudden dropping of the nap was triggered by the start of the new preschool. The energy around that, whether it be excitement, anxiety, or just your typical new school nerves, probably kept him from napping initially. And then, because he gets so much great sleep at night and he's nearing the end of the age range where his body will send that strong pull to sleep midday, his body easily shifted away from that daily nap. Now, does that mean he's dropped the nap for good? Sadly, it's possible, but not necessarily the case. Here are a couple things to keep in mind and possibly to try. First of all, I love that you're keeping the rest time. This is the very best way to truly have an assessment of whether he's temporarily bucking his nap or if he's truly dropping the nap. And I love that you're using the hatch for rest time because that gives him a visual cue of whether it's still time to be resting or it's okay to get up, even if you're meeting some resistance. It sounds like you're staying true to having him stay in his room until that hatch turns. So continue to do 60 to 90 minutes of rest time on the weekends. I do think, however, that you can give him books to look at right from the beginning of rest time. This isn't something I recommend for all of our preschool nappers, but definitely if we're over the age of 3.5 and we encounter a situation like yours, I think offering up the books can help buy us a little more time and have it so you don't get quite as much pushback, hopefully not as early into that rest time. So if you're doing that and his room is blackout, let in just enough light that he can see the pictures of the book, but we ideally don't want all the lights on or anything that's going to keep him awake. Don't pressure him to sleep. Just let him know that it's time to rest until his light turns green. Don't mention, I really want you to take a nap or you should close your eyes and try to fall asleep because he could want to resist that process. It's very possible that another week into school, he will settle in and the nap will return without you really shifting anything. If you find that after not napping for 2 weeks, he's starting to show tired signs in the morning when you have him home on the weekends, then you can try starting rest time a little bit earlier than the current 12:30 time, but no earlier than 12 p.m. So play around with 12, 12:15 and see if you notice anything different. If he's humming along, however, all the way till 12:30, acting like his best little self, not tired or grumpy, then I would consider trying a little bit later than the current 12:30, but no later than 1 p.m. The reason I'm suggesting possibly shifting the time is because it's possible that as he's maturing away from this nap, his sleep wave window may be very tight. And if you miss it by being a little too late or even a little too early, it may result in him not being able to fall asleep. If he does fall asleep during any rest period at this point, I would encourage you to wake him by 2:30 or 3 p.m., even if you find that he's falling asleep later, so that his nighttime sleep doesn't get disrupted. And if you try shifting the time and find that he's still not sleeping, then I would say go back to 12:30 and keep rest time. He's at the age where I would recommend 60 minutes of rest time unless he's content for 90 minutes. Even if preschoolers don't technically need a nap to be well rested, they will still benefit from some quiet rest time each day. And I think most parents benefit from their child having that rest time and for them to get a little quiet time as well. And of course, if he continues to not nap and seems fussy in the evening, stick with that earlier bedtime so he continues to get that solid 12 hours of sleep at night. That's going to be critical to keeping him well rested. Jessica, thank you so much for submitting this Sleep SOS question. I hope this episode helps you understand and navigate this nap transition and helps other parents in a similar situation. I'll see you back here next week. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to How Long Till Bedtime. To learn how we can work together to improve your child's sleep, please visit sleepandwellnesscoach.com.